Next up is one of my favorites that you'll hear lots of coaches use. Now, if you've got a problem or somebody that you're talking to has got a problem, if you say to them, well, if you did know what to do, what would it be? Or if you knew the answer, what would the answer be? Then the person that's giving you the problem or presenting the problem to you, then they are much more likely to go away, mentally go away and think about a possible solution. So if you did know what you would do, if you did know the answer, what would it be? You'll be amazed at how many times they'll think about it and then they'll come up with a solution that they hadn't have thought about previously. Now, there's a real trick with this question. In fact, there's two, but fundamentally, once you've asked the question, you need to shut up. So you ask the question, if you did know the answer, what would it be? And then be quiet. And sometimes it's difficult because the person that you're talking to, the person that you're coaching, they'll go away and they won't necessarily look at the ceiling or whatever, but their mind will disappear. Their eyes will disappear. Sometimes they glaze over. And because of the silence whilst they're thinking, very easy for you to dive in and then ask a supplementary question. So if you ask, or when you ask this question, if you did know what would it be, you need to be quiet. You need to match and mirror their rapport. So you are comfortable, and then let them come up with a solution to the problem that they have got. Now, it might be that they sit there, especially if they're a bit shy, a little bit introverted. It might be that they struggle to come up with an answer. And if they do, if you become more uncomfortable, so you need to say something, instead of giving them the answer, you need to insert the magic word. And that magic word is possibly. What would you possibly do? Now, as soon as you insert that word possibly, then it opens up. So if you just ask the question, what would you do? Then you're asking for one question, one specific solution, and that could be right or wrong. If you insert the magic word possibly, then it opens up loads of possibilities. So it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. And all of a sudden, they are much more likely to share. If they haven't already, they're much more likely to share all the different possibilities. And then you can go through each of those possibilities and coach them on the various scenarios and ultimately get to a situation that works for them, for you to implement, for them to implement, and they can go away with that solution. So simply, if you did know, what would it be? And if after you've been silent, they've not given you an answer, you allow them time to think, then you add the word possibly. What would you possibly do? And I'm going to come back to that word possibly a bit later on in this conversation.